Yeah, we're pros.
Professionals.
So, I was bummed, first of all, before
We're just gonna dive right into this,
No.
chat.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see if anyone is going to join us on this Facebook Live today.
And until then, I'll chat about how I was really disappointed that it was so pouring today. I couldn't get out
and use... Yeah, it was gross in St. Louis.
Couldn't get out and use my drone that I got a month ago. Been trying to get my pilot's skills up to snuff because it's really intimidating flying around with a super, expensive for us piece of equipment that I could wreck at any moment. But practice session...
Yeah, that scares me a little bit.
Practice session tomorrow, maybe. So, what are we talking about today, Elizabeth? You want to fill them in?
Yeah, so we've got a few people joining now. Hi, everybody. We wanted to come on Facebook Live to make an announcement that we've been talking about on some of our other social media channels and maybe on our podcast. Have we talked about it on our podcast?
Nope.
Anyway, if you read the title of this Facebook Live, you know that we wrote a book.
It was a little bit of a giveaway, the title.
It's so exciting, yeah. So this really isn't an announcement. It's more like filling you in on some of the details of this book that we wrote.
Yeah.
So, it's very exciting.
The topic is the Mighty Five of Utah. So, 5 national parks in Utah: Zion, Bryce Canyon, Capitol Reef, Canyonlands, Arches.
Yes, those are the Mighty Five. So the 5 Utah national parks. And as you guys know, we visited all of them on our year-long National Parks road trip in August and September of 2015. So during that time, we gathered a lot of intel. It was a pretty crowded time in the parks for us. It was a pretty busy time in the Utah National Parks to visit in the early fall. So we got a lot of experience in dealing with crowds, and we got a lot of experience in finding ways to avoid those crowds because we didn't like those crowds very much. So
we had a lot of good itineraries that you dreamed up.
Yes.
We got in a lot of awesome hikes.
We spent 4 to 5 days in each park, which was pretty typical of our entire trip. That was about our average, and that's what we also spent in Utah.
And the book itself is going to come out with, not really focused on the photographs and everything we took.
You guys are like, no kidding.
Yeah, thank goodness. No, it's more about the guide for you to experience these Utah parks your own way.
Yep.
So,
and I've looked, there are not very many books out there covering this. So I'm hoping that it's helpful for you guys. It's not just a photo book. It's not just about our experiences. It's what we learned and what we discovered, and since what we've researched.
Exactly.
As the most valuable things that you need to know before you visit Utah's national parks. And maybe you're not even visiting all of Utah's national parks at once. Maybe you're visiting them throughout your life, or you just really like Utah, or you just really want to go to Zion. This book will have a lot of value, I think, for anyone interested in Utah.
So Elizabeth has been the main author, slaving away. I've provided some editorial support, and she might just say nagging criticism at times. But we're really excited because it's getting close.
It's getting really close.
Final touches.
We are releasing this ebook August 25th, which, if anybody knows, that is the National Park's birthday, the National Park Service's birthday.
The 101st
birthday of the National Park Service. So we're celebrating by releasing our first ebook.
Yeah.
And what we just talked about. It's all about the Mighty Five in Utah. It's chock full of information. I'm still adding pages.
It's like 40 pages, isn't it?
It's like 60 pages at this point.
Oh my gosh.
So we keep adding more and more and more information that we feel like people need to know. So here's the layout of the book. Let's go through that.
Okay, you want to give them that?
I want to give them the idea of what they're could possibly be purchasing, yeah.
Of what you're going to be rushing to pre-order.
I don't know if you can pre-order it.
Yeah, we're not that sophisticated.
Okay, so here's...
Hopefully we'll figure out PayPal by the time it comes out.
Yeah, we'll see. Here's the scoop on what the book is. So, excuse me, got a little thing in my throat.
Okay, so first, we do have a little bit of our own experience for each park, but then we really do get into a lot of facts. We talk about where the park is, what's the best time to visit the park, some safety precautions you might have. Then we go into stuff like itineraries, specific itineraries, 2 days, 4 days for each park.
You're jumping around a little bit, which that's fine, but that's okay.
I'm really just making it up.
You are.
This is what she's going to have to put in.
I know exactly what's in there.
Well, you were so busy choking on your tea. Don't take another drink. You got to talk now because I'm all out of stuff that I know about the book.
I wasn't choking on my tea. I was drinking tea because I was choking.
Okay, well.
Cause effect was reversed there. Okay, so here's how the book works. First, we just lay out overall, here's the Mighty Five, here's how to visit Utah, here are general tips for visiting this area of the country. How we recommend doing the route. Yes. The distances between each one. Right. If you want to visit all 5 at once, here's how to do it, here's where to start, here's where to finish, or here's which airport to fly into to start your trip. Then the bulk of the book is going through each different individual park and laying out, like Cole was saying, individual tips, secrets. Like, that's going to be a big part of it because we feel like we have really good insight beyond what most guidebooks will tell you. Some of our own personal experiences, highlights, must-dos. Now I'll put on the spot.
We have it. We have it all right here.
Yeah, we do. It's all.
We could just go through it, I guess.
It's all crumpled. No, let's not do that.
Doesn't it look so pretty, black and white?
A 2-day itinerary for each park and a 4-day itinerary for each park. That goes through. Here's what you should do in the morning, afternoon, and evening for the number of days you have. Of course.
And for those who just joined, just to re-mention, we're talking about our new ebook on the Mighty Five National Parks of Utah.
5 National Parks of Utah.
Coming out August 25th.
Yes. Launching on Amazon and on a website called Blurb, which is where you can buy ebooks, and specifically ebooks and also paperback books. So the other thing I guess we should mention is that we are going to start with this as just an ebook. So just something you can purchase online as a PDF.
Because I never read any of my real books anyway, so...
You don't, no. You don't. I do sometimes, but rarely.
Anyway, you can get this on your Kindle, you can bring it to the parks,
right?
You can review it beforehand. It's, super, hopefully versatile.
Hopefully versatile, yeah. So we want to give people the option of just being able to pull it up quickly if you need it, or also, and not having to carry it around everywhere because we don't like to travel with a bunch of books and stuff. Right. And it's also going to be a planning guide. So hopefully something that you read before you visit a park, before you go to Utah, not while you're standing at the trailhead looking up which trail to hike.
Or on your way.
Or on your way to get excited about it.
Anyway, let's get into some of the special little details we're planning.
Okay.
For the first day that it's for purchase, we are giving 10% of the profits or revenue to the National Park Foundation. So that'll be just our little donation that we take right off the top. Every day after that, we're going to give 5% to the National Park Foundation because without the national parks, we wouldn't have anything to write about. We think everybody, including us, need to support the parks. So we want to start doing that a little bit more formally, and this is going to be a good starting point for us. So we will be donating 5%
of our proceeds from forever on these books straight to the National Park Foundation. And like he said, if you're going to order this book, a very good day to do it would be August 25th, because that is the day we're going to double it. We're going to donate 10% of all of our proceeds straight to the National Park Foundation.
And on August 25th, the first 30 people who order get a nice little postcard of the national parks from Moose Basics, Purple Moose Basics.
They're called National Park Life now.
That are now National Park Life. They're one of our great sponsors, but their postcards are gorgeous. And
we have all 59 parks prints from them decorating one entire wall. We should show in our apartment. We should show them that at some point.
Okay.
Not right now. It's a little messy in our room.
Yeah, your clothes are everywhere. Anyway.
Unpacking takes a long time, like a week.
Yeah, like a week since we got back. Anything else to talk about?
Well, let me pull up my handy-dandy list and make sure we talked about everything.
This is going to be the first of...
Oh, that's the big thing, yeah.
Right, the first of a series of ebooks on the national parks. So next, we need your help to figure out what comes next.
Yeah, we have not started writing a second book, so we would love your input. Here are some of the ideas that we have. So we, at some point, we want to write a book about visiting the national parks in Alaska, because this is a big thing that takes, mostly the reason we would want to write about it all at once is because it takes so much planning and so many logistics and so many things falling into place. And for us, planning our trip to Alaska, we found no information that was all in one place. So we had to go to each individual park website and each individual list of outfitters for those parks. There was nothing that was all together. And how to go from one park to the next. There was nothing like that. It was all like how to go from Anchorage to whatever park.
It was an exhausting task.
It was a huge undertaking. Yeah. So if we could make that easier for anybody who wants to maybe visit all the national parks at some point in their life, going to have to go to Alaska at some point in their life.
Or anyone who just wants to go to the national parks in Alaska, planning a trip over summer, because these are the best wild places in America.
Mm-hmm. Or, like we said, if you only want to visit a few of the, if you're interested in just visiting a couple national parks in Alaska, this would be really helpful for you too. So that's one thing we have in mind. We also have the idea of maybe grouping the national parks in different ways. So, we had we're doing all the Utah parks. We also had the idea of doing all of the California parks.
Or all the Rockies parks.
Or all the Rocky Mountain parks. Or all the parks in the East.
All the non-national parks, national park sites that we love. Something like that.
We also could go the way of...
beach parks.
Grouping them by a specific interest or activity. So we could talk about just the backpacking in the national parks, or day hiking in the national parks, or kayaking in the national parks, which we also know a little bit about. So if you have any suggestions about what you would like us to write, we just feel like we have this wealth of knowledge.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, we have a wealth of experience. So we also add a little bit of research. And we just love the parks
That was me pulling out the strand, the little memories of and then dropping
it in the pensieve.
Yeah, the pensive. Harry Potter.
I think that I pronounced every single thing in Harry Potter incorrectly until the movies came out, which was a good 5 years of where I was running around saying Hermione.
Right. My mom read the books out loud to us, and she always said Hermione. So
yeah,
I was devastated when I heard it was Hermione. But now it's of course.
Oh, that makes sense. It sounds a lot better.
That's way better.
Okay. Anyway,
I think we've gotten enough off track.
Let's recap. We are writing. Just kidding. Let's start over. We wrote a book. It's about Utah's 5 national parks, which are also known as the Mighty 5.
It'll be available in ebook format. It'll be launched on August. I guess we got to join our numbers here.
I gave you one. August 25th. So in
NPS birthday.
Basically a week and 2 days.
The first 30 people who buy it get a postcard, and that first day, 10% of proceeds go to the National Park Foundation. Thereafter, 5% to the National Park Foundation, our donation. And
if you have any suggestions for our next book, whatever you would like us to write next, because we are going to continue writing books, please let us know. And finally, to stay up to date,
unless this one sells like 0 copies, so
that
that would be really sad.
It was a lot of work.
Help us out with that one.
Yeah, if you're gonna buy it on August 25th, because then we will donate more money to the National Park Foundation, and you get you will, if you're the first 30 people. Did we say 30?
Yeah.
You'll get a National Park print again.
Sorry, you're recapping the recap here. Okay, your last point.
My last point. If you are interested in staying up to date with all of these, like the official launch time and some of the other things that we've been talking about, we send out a monthly newsletter, and also you can just sign up for our email list and get some of these important news updates, like when we write another book or if we're announcing something special. Our email list is probably the most direct way you can get information. So if you go to our website, switchbackkids.com, and click on the fill in your email where it says to fill in your email, you can get some of those things. We don't send out things hardly ever. We send out once a month, and then if there's a special news, like we're writing a book, that might be sent out too. But we try not to be too annoying.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else we need to talk about?
No.
Harry Potter, drones.
No, we talked about Harry Potter, we talked about drones, we could talk about the Cardinals about to win in Boston. But anyway, thanks for checking this out. We're super excited about the book, and check out switchbackkids.com for everything else, all the national parks, news guides, posts, videos. It's all there.
You sound like our podcast.
Our podcast. Don't forget that one. All right.
I'm ready to go to bed.
Later.
Bye, guys.